What's going on, guys? Jimmy Mahalik here with your second stimulus check update. In this video, we got a lot of information. We have new second stimulus check update news. We have information about evictions, about new states closing down, and hazard pay, and all sorts of good stuff for you here, guys, in just a quick couple minutes. Okay, first up, protections from evictions that is from the first stimulus package is set to expire in less than a month. Senator Elizabeth Warren on Monday filed a bill to stop evictions nationwide during this pandemic. She goes on to say that renters who have lost their job or their income being reduced shouldn't have to fear losing their homes in the middle of this pandemic, and that housing is a human right and an absolute necessity to keep families safe during this crisis. If this bill passes, it would extend the halt on evictions for another 8 months, so into 2021. Also, the $600 per week bonus or $2,400 per month bonus for unemployed people from the federal government is set to expire on July 31st, so also about a month away. And the kicker is July 31st is on a Friday, and most states process their unemployment for the week on Saturday or Sunday, actually, so it goes out for the next week. So most people are not going to get that extra bonus unemployment for the week of July 31st. They're actually going to not get that stimulus probably at all. There's talks of extending the unemployment bonus for the rest of the year at possibly a lower amount. But the question is will they pass something like this in time with July 31st being only about a month away? And Congress is also going on recess for about 2 weeks over the July 4th holiday and forward. So we're not really sure if they're going to be able to extend that in time because the Senate is pretty much just dragging their feet on pretty much everything. Also, if you can, hit the like button for me down below. It really helps out my channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on second stimulus check updates, when it's going to be and how much it's going to be for. And when that current news comes out, I will update you guys. Also, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell are testifying before the House on the current state of the economy and the second stimulus check to Americans. Also, senators this week had a meeting, and apparently they sat down and talked about a direct stimulus check directly sent out to Americans, and they talked about it for over 2 hours, and they were actually discussing the details on how they would actually make that happen. There's been a lot of speculation from Congress that they're going to pass a second stimulus check in July, which it's now July 1st. So they do go on recess after July 4th for about 2 weeks. Then they're probably going to be voting on some of these very important measures. So I think we'll have some really important news coming out over the next few days on the progress of what these talks are. There's actually been a cry from House representatives that the Senate should not be going on vacation during this July 4th recess, and that they need to work faster on this second stimulus package and second stimulus check to Americans because it's such a dire emergency for millions of Americans. And I actually have something very interesting that I wanted to show you guys. So that HEROES Act that passed the House, it's about $3 trillion, okay? At first, Senate Republicans said that they weren't in favor of any stimulus. Then they changed their mind and said that they were in favor of $1 trillion in stimulus. And President Donald Trump then came out and said he was in favor of $2 trillion in stimulus. So if another $1,200 stimulus check gets passed, it would cost about $267 billion, which is only 9% of the $3 trillion that the HEROES Act was. So 9% of the bill would go to a payment to Americans, and 91% of the other money is going to go to other things like paying money to state and local governments so that they don't go bankrupt, which is actually a very big threat, and passing a whole bunch of other stimulus to other packages for the economy. Now, if my roundabout math is correct here, if we got a $2,000 check, it would cost about 427, maybe $430 billion instead of 267 billion. That might sound like a lot of money, but every $500 million is only about 16% of the total $3 trillion stimulus package that they want to pass. So let's round up a bit and say it's $430 trillion for every $2,000 check that they would send out to Americans. So if they did a monthly check for, say, 3 months, we would have about $1.3 billion that would go directly to the American people. But remember, they want to pass a $3 trillion, okay? $3 trillion total package. So if they gave $1.3 billion to the actual people that make up the United States, it would be a little over a third of the actual money. So they would still have just under 2/3 of the stimulus package that they're passing to go to other things besides the people. And that's if they actually pass $2,000 per month. It would still only be a little over 1/3 of the amount of money they want to spend. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments if you think that 1/3 of the money should go to the people, or if you think that it shouldn't be that much, it should be much less than 1/3 of the money should go to the people. Also, we're starting to see more states close down their economy and close down businesses, what we're calling now the second shutdown of America. We actually have 4 different states reversing and closing back up. Texas, Florida, Arizona, California, some of the highest population states in the United States are now reversing and closing back up. They're mostly starting with restaurants, bars, and public areas, but as this starts to climb, we could see even more, even total shutdowns like we had before. We're also seeing about 10 different states pausing their reopening and not reopening anymore at all. We're starting to see lots of states set daily records, and we've now had over 10 million people in the world have this virus. And get this, they're hoping to have a vaccine in 2021. So basically for the next 6 months, we have no hope for a vaccine. We're already into next year, and that's just a hope. We could be a year or more without an actual vaccine. They're saying at the rate this is going, we could actually start to see 100,000 new cases per day. We're currently at about the 40,000 new cases per day mark every single day. Also, we're starting to see travel bans where states like New York literally won't let you in their state or to travel to their state if you're from a state with a high rate of infections. We're now seeing at least 3 different states that won't let you in their state if you come from one of these hotspot areas. And for a lot of parts of Europe, Americans literally can't travel to Europe right now. They're physically banned from being able to do so. And the EU actually just extended the ban for Americans of not being able to travel to Europe. And as you can see here, the United States during the shutdown, during the first shutdown, how we started to lower or flatten the curve. And now that we're reopening and people aren't following the recommended guidelines of wearing masks and social distancing, how we're starting to see new cases completely spike up in the United States. The U.S. has had more than 125,000 people die already, and more than 2.5 million Americans have been infected from this. And unfortunately, I only think it's going to get worse. You can let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, we're now starting to see more companies give out a second round of hazard pay to essential workers. Amazon is actually paying more than $500 million to frontline employees working at Amazon. Amazon Flex drivers are getting $150, and it goes up from there. Part-time delivery workers will get $250. Full-time drivers will get $500. $1,000 to frontline leaders at Whole Foods and Amazon, and up to $3,000 to delivery service partner owners. Also, we're seeing other very large companies such as Lowe's, who is giving out about $100 million in bonuses to their employees for working during this time. Full-time employees of Lowe's will receive a $500 bonus, and part-time and seasonal employees will get up to a $150 bonus from Lowe's. Also, Target plans to add a $200 bonus also to their employees, and also to increase their minimum wage to $15 an hour beginning July 5th. Walmart is also giving about $390 million in bonuses to their employees, which is about a $300 bonus to full-time workers and a $150 bonus to part-time workers. If you guys know of any other companies that are giving big bonuses like this, let us know down below in the comments. And also, you can click on this video to hear more about the $2,000 retroactive stimulus check, and you can watch this bottom video for a timeline on when we should be receiving the next stimulus check. And over here, I'll link a video which teaches you how to start selling on Amazon. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income by selling one product on Amazon. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.